Hey, what's up, everybody? Pat here. Grateful recovering alcoholic and addict, just like every day, my friends. Guys, please don't forget to subscribe, leave the video a like, drop me a comment, and by all means, share it with somebody that might get something out of it. Other than that, let's just get into it, guys. What an awesome, amazing day. As you guys know, today's Friday, so that means my AA home group. And let me tell you guys, well, sirens go by, give me a second. Today, and it was beautiful, right? Today was one of the busiest days I've had. I don't know if it was because of a couple of days of rain, things were a little bit slow. I had some parts that came in, but then I got some other phone calls asking if I could fit some emergency calls in, or just, kind of emergency calls. And you know what? I just again, in the past, I would have been so overwhelmed. Oh, I can't do that. No, I said, no, it's money, man. I spent a lot of money this week. I gotta recoup that, right? And I kept a great attitude about it because I was happy with it. I'm like, listen, I'm just going to do the best I can. I'll make things make sense. Try and do things in order so I'm not backtracking and ping ponging. And I just let customers know this. So listen, I got something else to come in. It's on the way to you. I'm going to stop and do that. I'll put you. And I just kept in communication with everybody. Guys, I was on the phone driving to and from jobs all day. I got all my work done. I managed to, and the important thing was that I made it to my AA group, right? At one point today, I'm like, God, geez, I hope I don't get stuck in the middle of something and I can't make it. And I said, no, I am the master of my own fate here. If I decide that's what's important, then I'm going to make it. And I rolled in on two wheels at exactly 11:59. So, but I was there on time and I enjoyed my meeting. And the reading today was fantastic. I'm so happy that I made it to my meeting today, guys. As a matter of fact, when I got a chance to speak, there was like 1 minute left in the meeting, and really all I had to say at that point was just thank you. And I completely identified with what everybody said. I also enjoyed the reading, and you guys pretty much covered everything I was going to say. It's amazing. I congratulated the couple people that got their chips today, and that's it. But guys, it's every time I feel so recharged. I feel so happy when I leave my group every Friday because it's just so encouraging. And that's what actually the topic for the Just for Today NA meditation is. And I'm not going to read it step for step because it's just pretty basic and I'm just going to tailor it to everybody. But it's about encouragement, guys. And I go there to encourage other people, and then I get encouraged while I'm there. And that's something it feeds right into why my life goes so well today, guys, because I'm very quick to encourage others. And that it all ties in with do no harm and uplift other people. Guys, one of the most powerful things we have the ability to do is to encourage somebody. And that's something I found. When somebody sings my praise or just gives me a little bit of encouragement, like it just gets me going and I take things to that next level. And at one point I realized that, and I'm like, again, when I decided to not do harm with my words, I started stepping it up and just I try to be as encouraging as I can without being fake. Never be fake, guys. Fake can be seen a mile away. You always want to be authentic. And again, guys, if you're in a bad place, I'm not telling you to snap out of it immediately, but here's the thing. We'll reach on that for a second. We'll get back to encouragement. You got to understand that there's just like a range of colors in the rainbow, there's a range of emotions in the spectrum, right? And obviously you got your negative side and you got your positive side. And the more you can remain on the positive side of the spectrum, the more beautiful experiences you're going to have in your life. Like, that's literally cut and dry. I don't even call it a theory. I'm calling that law. That is literally the law of attraction. And I'm walking proof of it, guys. I mean, the blessings that come out of it, my life is amazing today. And again, somebody else might look at it and think it's crap. But again, the only equitable equation being comparing myself from where I was at to where I am now. And that's what I'm comparing, guys. And that's why I'm so incredibly happy. But also because I choose to be, and I choose to focus on the good. And when I find myself or when I used to find myself in despair, completely disempowered, right? I couldn't just switch and flip a switch and get to, extremely positive. I had to work my way through that range of emotions. And the only reason I'm saying this is because, guys, if you're in that bad spot, you want to start working your way out, right? If you're in complete disempowerment, then get mad. Because now mad gives you control of the situation. Mad is not, I'm not telling anybody to run around being angry and snap on people, but I'm saying if you are in complete disempowerment, step it up to rage. Because that gives you power, it gives you control, it gives you a release. And that's working your way positive, right? From rage, work your way into frustration, where just, you're irritated, but you're not outwardly snapping on people. From frustration, go to mildly annoyed, and then from mildly annoyed, go to, slightly hopeful, and then go to hopeful, and then, you know what I mean? keep, wherever you're at, try to reach for that next level. Because if you try to go from, I'm completely disempowered and I can't see a way out of this, you can't snap your fingers and be happy and expect all these blessings to drop into your life. And that's what I want for you. I want everybody to find the blessings that I'm finding. This is literally why I do what I do. But you got to understand that you got to take the proper steps, which means working your way through your emotions. And I'm not telling you I'm not, preaching toxic positivity, and I'm not saying, but I am saying, learn to let go what you can't control. If you have no control over it, let it go. Don't let it own you. Don't let it ruin your day, right? But work on the things you can control. Take your accountability and then work on your own behaviors, right? And work your way up that emotional spectrum. And one of the best ways to do that, guys, is to encourage other people. When you are constantly encouraging other people, people are going to love you for that, right? You're going to just promote positivity. You're going to make other people feel better about themselves, and then they're going to step things up, and they're going to come right back to you and be encouraging to you. The most important thing that I try to get you guys to understand is you don't react to things. You decide what you're going to do and respond accordingly, right? And that's where changes are made. We can all sit here and justify our behaviors when we're aggravated, because I could sit there for 2 hours and list things on what annoys me and why I've been this and why and this, but I've chosen not to. I've chosen to overcome. I've chosen to take in every situation, because I don't care. At the end of the day, I'm building my life. I'm not going to worry about somebody else's part in something, because I have nothing to do with that. I can't control that. I can encourage them and hope they do better, and if they don't, then I move away. Like, I'm always going to be there to help and encourage anybody, but I'm not going to let their lack of action on my encouragement discourage me from encouraging somebody else or from being happy. I'm not going to let them push me into a state of resentment. I try, and again, I say this because, guys, I did earlier in the week. I was talking about earlier a couple of videos ago, all the scammers online, because I'm trying to interact with people, and I don't like to shut people out, because I'm like, well, what if that one person really has one? And guys, 100% of the time on TikTok, it's scammers. That's why I finally said, you know what, I can't. Because, yes, I try to rise above, right? But now I'm wasting my time and my energy, and I'm getting frustrated by all the scammers. One asks the literally same story over and over again. And I'm like, okay, well, now they're pushing me down the emotional scale. So I've got to cut my ties, and I've got to walk away. And it's exactly what I did, because I'm going to put me first, and that's what you have to do. Always put you first. But understand, always give somebody the benefit of the doubt, and try to be encouraging. Try to be uplifting. Try to be positive. Try to understand their side of things. And then not only, and again, if somebody just needs you to listen, then listen. But if somebody is seeking advice, try to give them positive advice. Try to actually literally put yourself in their shoes. And that's one of the things that I've done, and I'm finding amazing results with the guys. Like, I don't do anything for anybody expecting direct results out of them unless it's a customer paying me a check, obviously. But I understand that when I do go out of my way to help people less fortunate than I am, and to help others that are in need of help, I get blessings from the universe. Like, things drop into my lap because I'm putting out this beautiful, positive energy, and I'm magnetizing good experiences into my orbit. And I love that. And it is absolutely beautiful. And one of the most powerful things we have at our disposal is just being encouraging. Like, I especially like when I'm at my AA group, right? I was talking to a girl today who I was talking 2 weeks ago, who's having a really hard time. Really good, nice girl. She's at one of the women's houses here, and she was really stressed out. She couldn't get out of the house, and just, it was hot, and, things were getting to her. I didn't have a solution for her, right? But I just listened. And I'm like, listen, hey, just, listen, remember, things change. This is, you're being tested. Don't let it own you. Don't feed into this, right? That same girl came up to me today and said, hey, I just want to thank you. That word of encouragement helped me get through it. And now, the last minute, she found out she was accepted to a hospitality training program. So now she's going to be out of the house from 9 to 3 every day, and then she gets more freedom because she's doing the program, so she can go out to meetings at night, and every one of her concerns was just wiped out that quickly because she voiced it and then did good things with it. She didn't act upon the aggravation of it, right? She's talked about it in an open and uplifting forum, and she just, she let it out of her system and didn't act negatively on it. And then, boom, the universe took care of it for her because she's doing the right things. These are the things that I see constantly in my life and other people's lives that are working the program like it's supposed to. You always get a couple that are in there. We get a few that walk in there looking like they're half high and nodding out and sleeping in there. And again, don't let that bother you. I don't let that discourage me. I tell them, please keep coming. I hope things get better, and I hope I hope they get the spark. If I could give anything away in this life, it would be the spark that's been given to me. And I got that from a couple of people that came into the rehab. I got it from God. But because I was never a big fan of the program, because I never bought into the program like I have now. And there was a few people that would come into rehab, like, the guys that would come in on Christmas night. Because I was in, rehab for Christmas this year. And it was one of the, it was not a great Christmas to celebrate with the family, but you know what? It's the best Christmas in a long time because it was a sober Christmas. And it was the Christmas that I get to celebrate Christmas from there on after, so long as I continue to do the work. But the guys that came in, right, there was actually a bunch of guys from a biker church that's probably about 45 minutes from here. And I wish it wasn't so far because I'd love to go hang with these guys. They seem like good dudes. But they're the guys that had the spark, and they're building this beautiful life in AA. And I'm like, oh man, and I didn't know if I was ever going to get there at that point, right? Now here I am 6 months later, and I'm realizing that people are talking about me in the meetings that way. I got to get that spark because I voiced that concern to God. And I'm doing things right, and I'm trying to be encouraging, and I'm trying to be uplifting, and I'm trying to make a difference everywhere I go. Guys, I don't say that lightly. I literally take it upon myself to try to make everybody I interact with day better for having met me. That is literally the attitude that I carry. And guys, don't get me wrong, I fall short constantly. I'm only human. I'm not perfect by any means. But I'm a much, much better version of me than I've ever been. And that's what I say constantly, guys. This is the best version of me. Because, again, the only equitable equation is me from before to me now. And then me moving forward will step it up even more and get even better. And that's where blessings come from, guys. It's absolutely beautiful. But one of the most powerful things we can do is, first of all, stop discouraging people, right? Because it sucks. Somebody else gets a little hope up about something. Why do you want to be the one to smash them for it? Because of jealousy? Because they have something you don't? Like, think about that. Next time you're being discouraging to somebody, stop and question yourself and say, why am I doing this? It's not them. It has something to do with you. And then try to catch that, and then try to be encouraging. If I'm telling you, if you just, if all the lessons I've given you, that's one that's so incredibly easy. For the next week, 10 days, try to just talk encouragingly to everybody you run into, and watch how much your life will change in that 1 week, just from that one action. It's immensely powerful, guys. That's the one thing I'm starting to learn. All these things that I thought I had no control over, because I'm doing them for the best of my ability, and I'm doing these things for me, because it makes me feel better about who I am. And that was my biggest concern, was I had lost myself. I had lost who I was. I didn't know what mattered to me. I didn't know, and again, now I'm falling in love with who I am, and that challenges me to step up and do better and expect more. And it's allowing me to charge customers what my worth is. Guys, I had one of the best days I've ever had today. Made up for all the money that I lost during the course of the week and last weekend. And I was perfectly fair. But there were a couple of jobs I'm doing that in the past I wouldn't have charged the money, because there's some jobs just pay really well. And sometimes I get hesitant. Like, well, why don't I be the one guy that cuts them in half? No, because I'll never get ahead that way. And the customer, these people have owned properties for decades. They know what shit costs. So when I gave them an $800 bill for an hour's work, I'd been there a couple of times, but I got probably 2 hours into it. They were thrilled. They were absolutely thrilled because they appreciate my service. They appreciate it was done right. They were there watching me do the work because they were a little concerned. There was somebody else that had given them some bad information on something. So when I told them the correct information, they listen, we're not going to question you, but we were told this. And I said, well, I don't know who told you that, but that's dead wrong because I checked it and this is the way it is. So they made a point of being there today to see. And sure enough, I was dead right because I'd done my footwork. I'd made sure what I was doing. And the second I turned the AC system back on, the thing was blowing ice cold air, and they were absolutely thrilled with full confidence in me telling, even if I'm telling them something somebody else told them the opposite of, they know I'm a man of my word. They know I know what I'm doing and I'm doing a good job. And when I turned around and told them it was $800, they actually said, oh, don't forget to add money for the other thing you did. And I said, don't worry about it. That was a 10-minute deal. I always do little things like that. I stopped and do a battery and smoke detector at another property. I don't charge you for that. If I'm not doing other work for you and you send me out, then sure, I have to charge for that. But if I'm meeting you to come do a job for you and you're literally hanging around so you can pay me on the spot and I stop and throw a battery and smoke detector, no, I'm not going to charge somebody for that, But guys, they were so happy with paying me the $800, they wanted to pay me for another job. And these are the things that happen today because it's the culmination of everything. But a big part of that is I'm responsible. I answer my phone. I do good work. I'm very honest. and I'm encouraging, and I'm nice to people, and I'm positive, and I'm a joy to be around. And these are these are action steps that anybody can take, and they invite blessings into your life. I'm living proof of it, guys. I cannot stress that enough. And I know some people are gonna say, "Oh, this is bullshit," because this and that and this, and you couldn't be happy if you were my guys. Walk my shoes before you tell me where I can and can't be happy, because I was happy walking this shitstorm that I was walking before, because I chose to be happy. I'm walking around with a rainbow shit out of my ass today, guys, because life is absolutely beautiful, and everybody can enjoy the same thing. Guys, that is the lesson for today. It is Friday. Happy Friday. Those of you going out tonight, please be safe. Don't drink and drive. Don't drug and drive. Please be careful. Please be safe. Please be uplifting. Please be the best version of you've ever been, and just invite blessings into your life. We'll make the world a better place for it. Guys, God loves you. I love you. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next one.